the series lead has a 19-year-old on track for his first professional championship. And Ryan Dungey wins his second Monster Energy AMA Supercross Lights West Coast Series race of 2008. Kawasaki's have won 8 of the last 10 titles in the lights class. But in the first 3 rounds of the season, Metcalfe and Stroupe only have 1 podium each for Team Green.
That's Metcalfe putting the charge on.
Yep, and Brett challenging for 3rd, but he's having trouble getting around Cunningham. Yamaha's Jason Lawrence has consistently been among the fastest bikes on the track. However, mistakes have cost a precocious Californian a chance at his long-awaited first career win. Oh, and Lawrence has trouble. Oh, Lawrence! There's a mistake that might cost him the win. Round 4 of the Supercross Lights West Region heads to the city by the bay. The gate drop is next on Speed. Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. Welcome to AT&T Park in San Francisco, California. It's round 4 of the Supercross Lights West Coast region. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside former Supercross Series titleist Jeff Emig. And right now, Ryan Dungey is the guy to beat in the Supercross Lights class. This youngster on the factory Suzuki, Jeff, is looking better and better every week.
Yeah, he's been extremely strong and focused, and with his win last week in Anaheim, that's his 6th win in the Lights division. He ties Damon Bradshaw, Chad Reed, and myself on the all-time wins list, and this is only the beginning of his 2nd season. So he really has something to offer, and the thing that I really want you to remember is that this kid knows how to win. Not just put in good rides, but actually win the main event. It's going to be hard to beat.
And you can also see by taking a look at our points standings that he knows how to rack up the points each and every week as well, as Dungey now gets himself 22 markers in front of Broc Hepler. Dan Reardon's been riding pretty good. You can see Brayton and Lawrence and Metcalfe all right behind him with a shot at catching him. Earlier, we had a chance to catch up with Ryan Dungey to talk to him about how his season's been going to date.
I think, like just learning from my mistakes and not trying to make the same mistake twice. I last year it was my first year on the circuit, and I got to feel it out, see what things were like. But I think just not making the same mistake twice and trying to keep getting better and better. We're just you can never be too good. So.
Well, Dungey's been fast, but as you saw in the points, Jeff, there's a couple of guys that are still within reach of him for this championship.
Well, and I think the main rider that is in reach of him and had a great ride at Anaheim is Broc Hepler. He's a veteran of the class. He's won races before. He is extremely hungry for this win and to not let that championship get too far away from him. So I think Broc Hepler is potentially the next guy that's going to step up and knock Dungey off the top of the box.
But before we drop the gate on the first heat tonight, let's check in now with the 3rd member of our broadcast crew. Here's Aaron Bates.
Even though nobody has come even close to having the same consistency as Ryan Dungey in the West Coast Supercross Lights class, there have been a couple of contenders that have challenged him and showed him that they have the same speed. One of those riders, the number 338 of Jason Lawrence. He's won all of his heat races so far this season, but yet he has failed to get the job done. We caught up with Jason earlier this afternoon in the pits to find out what it's going to take to knock Ryan Dungey off the block.
It's going to be really muddy. I actually heard one of the AMA officials said he's never seen a track this bad. So, I mean, if you keep a good outlook, the night's going to go fine, and that's all I'm going to do, keep a positive outlook because, I mean, somewhat I'm out of the championship now. I dropped back a lot with what happened last weekend, so I'm just going to try and win races from here on out. And races like this are perfect for Dungey to mess up or Hepler to mess up anyone because it's going to be pretty inconsistent out there.
It's going to be a wet, muddy night here at the City by the Bay, racing in San Francisco's AT&T Park, coming up next on Speed. In the West Coast region, let's check in with Aaron Bates for a progressive pre-race report.
Well, guys, Ryan Dungey last year proved that he had the speed to run up front, but this year he wants to prove that last year was absolutely no fluke. He said he's gone home and he's concentrated on everything as far as cornering and speed goes. He said he's got 100% concentration coming into this weekend. He said he's never ridden here in San Francisco before, but there's one thing he can guarantee as he's looking forward to mastering what it takes tonight.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Jeff, here's a look at our MX versus ATV Untamed track map here at AT&T Park.
Yeah, and it's got a nice long straight down through here. They've actually also changed this section here a bit. They prepared for the rain. They built the track a little bit different, added another switchback in there, but track's going to be difficult. It's going to be so rutted and so soft, and as the motos go on, it's going to be even tougher. You're going to have to stand on the pegs of the bike, really balance that, and keep focused.
Our progressive starting lineup coming across the top of the screen. You can see we'll see Ryan Dungey and Metcalfe and Brighton all here in the first one.
Look how nice and clean the riders are right now by the end of this heat race.
By the end of the first lap, don't you mean?
Yeah, you can see all the mud over here on this side. It's nice and smooth, but probably 6-7 inches deep there. It's key to get that hole shot, get a good start here.
Working their way through, and it looked like everybody got through that first section pretty good, Jeff.
Sure did, especially Dan Reardon, 122. That bike's actually red. The beginning, the front part of the bike's red. The back, though, is already brown here with this NorCal mud, if you will.
Looks like the 123 of Metcalfe in second in green, and that's Dungey behind him on the yellow Suzuki number 28, who now moves his way into second, but not for long. Oh no, that's actually the 74, Chris Blows.
Chris Blows, yes. And Brett Metcalfe has been suffering from some bad starts earlier this year. He's had some very strong rides. I think he's got something to prove here this weekend too, and he's an excellent motocross rider, and this is Supercross, so the muddier that the track is, the more that it resembles an outdoor motocross. Metcalfe's going to excel tonight.
Dungey actually sits in fourth. He's on the yellow bike in the red riding gear, right behind Blows, and they're battling over third. Here comes Dungey right alongside, and he's going to take the position away from Blows.
And he really stuck it in there on the outside. On the inside, he knew that he wanted, plus he just nailed the triple jump, which I haven't seen any of the other riders do on this first or second lap. Ryan Dungey focused and dialed in.
Keep an eye on the name scrolling across the top of the screen, because those in green hold the top 9 transfer spots straight to the main. Everybody in red is looking at a trip to the last chance qualifier.
Well, we talk about this quite a lot, Ralph, and my feelings on the mud race and what you have to have coming in here. You have to have the right attitude. You have to, your inner child has to want to go play in the mud. Right now, Ryan Dungey looks like his child is having a blast out there, moving up. See him catching the leaders already. Right here, he's nailing these rhythm sections, not making any mistakes. And watch through here. He's going to go on off this tabletop and nail the triple. You see Metcalfe.
Metcalfe does the same thing. He gains up a tremendous amount of ground in the fight for the lead. Here comes Metcalfe in the green 123. He makes the move on Reardon and takes over the top spot.
That is a big triple.
Oh, it's huge.
It really skies you up because of the ruts at the bottom. It just catapults you 30, 40 feet in the air, and what that did, it gave him that extra jump and that extra little drive. He carried that momentum on into the whoop section.
And you make the addition of the conditions here tonight to trying to make that triple, and you can just really see how tough it is to do.
Yeah, and on Reardon's behalf, he might not have done that in practice. He might be a little bit timid because he had the whole shot. He doesn't want to make a mistake and fall. Now he's seen it, so let's watch Reardon as he comes through here. On off, is he going to nail the triple? No, does not clear it. Dungey still goes for it. Wow, that was so close.
That was a big move on Dungey's part, and here he comes inside of Reardon, but Reardon battles back to the next corner.
And the reason why this line is working for them, Ralph, because when they jump the triple, they go wide in the turn afterwards, okay? So they get a little more run off the berg and really carry speed into that whoop section, drive down the left side of Reardon both times. For Reardon, he has to remember that. He has to watch what these guys are doing over the triple and see that they're going wide before the whoops. Then he can hang right in there. He can lasso those guys and hang on to the lead group.
Well, Jeff, we might see something we haven't seen all season, and that is somebody beating Ryan Dungey in a heat race. Dungey is trying to catch Metcalfe, but Dungey has won every heat he has been in so far this year. That mistake right there could cost him.
Wow, we're talking about lassoing riders in. That was the bucking bronco as I go through the rodeo analogies. Great save by Ryan Dungey. He came up short on the on-off tabletop. It bucked him hard. Very lucky that he kept the bike on 2 wheels. And he kept his position for that matter.
Dungey trying to catch Metcalfe, but there's only 1 lap to go. And it might be Metcalfe that upsets Dungey in heat race competition so far this year. Let's go back and see what Dungey's been doing.
Dungey right here on the yellow bike. See him sky it out, and he comes up about 3 feet short. But look at the momentum. He carries through the whoops, and he's on that inside line. Reardon just gives it to him. On off the tabletop, really cases it. That's a nice save in my book.
Great save, but not going to help him. Brett Metcalfe on his way to his win here to upset Ryan Dungey in heat race competition this year.
Big confidence booster here. This is how you start out a mud race.
Brett Metcalfe wins heat number 1 here in San Francisco. Ryan Dungey will come across the line in second, so he will transfer to the main event. But Brett Metcalfe breaks the streak and wins heat number 1 here in San Francisco. We're coming right back to AT&T Park.
The polls are closed.
Can you? Heat number 1 for the Supercross Lights is completed here in the Northern California debut of the series this season. And it was a big win as Brett Metcalfe becomes the first rider to keep Ryan Dungey from standing on the top step of the podium after a heat race. These 9 riders will all move on straight to the main, and Adam Chatfield will come up 1 spot short and have to work his way through the LCQ. Here's Eric.
Brett Metcalfe just asking me, do I have any dirt on my face? I said, absolutely not, but you've got it from head to toe. Brett, an aggressive pass made out there. What is it going to take tonight? Is it going to make any kind of mistakes? Is what going to keep you from the win?
I think definitely a mistake-free race will definitely put you on the box tonight, but and a good start also, which I got in that heat race, so that was cool. But I'd just like to thank, my team, Monster Energy, Pro Soka, Kawasaki, Bridgestone, Scott, Thor, Pots Unlimited, and everyone else from the team helping out. It's wicked.
Brett Metcalfe, just one of those riders that's doing the rain dance back behind the stage.
On February 21st, prepare for an all-new setup. More speed, more competition, more at stake. Catch an all-new season of Setup February 21st, 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on Speed. Jason Lawrence on the Yamaha, getting ready, puts on his goggles. You can see clearly for now. 5th in the points. He's been very fast. He's won a heat race, hasn't won the feature yet.
Has to be extremely disappointed in that. He's given just an awesome effort each and every week. Last week at Anaheim was extremely disappointing, so Lawrence is going to be out for blood this week.
There's a 30-second board up in the air. She'll turn that sideways and then run or slop her way off the side here as best she can without falling, and we'll drop the gate anytime as our Honda starting lineup scrolls across the top of the screen. Now, Broc Hepler on the number 60. He's one to keep an eye on.
Oh, especially in the mud. Hepler is a fantastic mud rider coming from back in the Pennsylvania area, so he has ridden quite a bit. And you can see on top of his helmet right here, he's actually added foam there to keep the mud from sticking away.
Looks like the whole shot's going to come from the outside.
And I tell you, who did not get the whole shot was our featured rider there, Broc Hepler.
I think that's Jake Weimer that got the whole shot, isn't it, on the 30? Oh! Down goes one rider. On a couple stack up in there. Meanwhile, Hepler, or Jake Weimer, I should say, on the Honda, has developed a huge lead, Jeff.
Huge lead. 2 straightaways already on the first. See Weimer with the lead. Start to see some of the mid-packs start to bottle up. That's Jason Lawrence on the blue bike.
Boy, a lot of guys getting caught up in that one.
Ralph, that was only the second turn, and they're so muddy we can barely tell their number plates.
One of those, Jeff, I'm pretty sure was 6'11", Brady Sherrod. Brady comes on his Suzuki. One other rider having a problem there. And is that Lawrence? It is Lawrence.
So he lost the position. He did not stall the bike or fall down. And you can already see how the ruts are really starting to form in the turns and the track. In the first heat race, the track wasn't so bad. Now already with one heat race on it, it's extremely difficult. Our leader's not even jumping the finish line area.
No, but he's got a healthy lead.
And I tell you what's going to happen here, Ralph, and I already see it happening in the corner before the first turn, the next turn here. The rear tires have dug down through the dirt to the plywood that they actually build the track on. If you watch right here, see as the riders come through there, there's a big hole and they're already getting down to the plywood. This is Gavin Gracyk on the red bike here. He's already had 2 top 10s this year.
Is that Stroupe that came flying through there? It is. Stroupe on the number 51 Kawasaki, right behind Gracyk.
And Stroupe, this is his rookie season. This is his 4th Supercross of his professional career. Last week in Anaheim had a great race. It showed a lot of speed.
Oh, he has done that. No doubt about it. Gracyk and Stroupe sit second and third. Again, the names across the top of the screen in red. Not in a transfer position, just those top 9 in green. And Gracyk in red on the 273, trying to hold off Stroupe for second place right now. Because they're about almost 2 seconds slower than Weimer is right now.
Gracyk really seems to be tiptoeing his way around, so he's not jumping on off this tabletop. You see with Stroupe, he barely even got off the tabletop over that jump when in the first heat, our leaders were shooting off of that and jumping the triple.
And Lawrence jumps right past Stroupe. So Jason Lawrence has rebounded from an earlier mistake.
And you know what is so incredibly difficult on a night like tonight? It's muddy and the dirt is actually really wet. So that stuff hits your goggles, you're pulling tear-offs constantly, and when the track is rutted and the obstacles are tough to do, and you're trying to focus on where the ruts are when you're going to land, you see Lawrence adjust the bike in the air. Well, when you're in the air, that's when you want to pull a tear-off. Okay, but you're also trying to focus on your landing. It's a tough night to race Supercross.
Oh, and another mistake by Lawrence, just as you were talking about, Jeff, just so hard to get in a perfect lap.
And these riders are going to have to get away from that line right there.
Oh, look at Stroupe! He jumps right up alongside and almost past Lawrence over that massive triple. Here he comes through the woods.
Stroupe almost landed on him. It was almost like Lawrence knew it, and it's like he just pulled out of the way.
Or got very lucky, one or the other.
Don't you just love the yellow eyes? It is totally fearless, exactly.
And there's the 60 of Hepler, but he's way back, according to timing and scoring. It's Weimer, Gracyk, Lawrence, and Stroupe. And there's Jake Weimer. And another problem we're going to have tonight, Jeff, as we're on our last lap, is a lot of yellow flags as riders are strewn all over this racetrack with machinery that is broken down.
No doubt about that.
Watching the last few corners is Jake Weimer. Got the whole shot and has held on to every single corner of heat number 2. Just picking his way through.
Nice way to start tonight from Jake Weimer. Winner in Phoenix, his first main event win ever.
Checkered flag, and Jake Weimer has a heat race win as he takes the victory in heat number 2. And Austin Stroupe got around Gracyk, as did Lawrence.
And here's Lawrence right here on the blue bike, and Stroupe just comes out of nowhere. Lawrence just gets out of the way, and look at Stroupe, he's still wide open on the gas, not giving up at all.
Well, Gavin Gracyk dropped right at the end of that. He was in second, slipped all the way back to 4th. Jake Weimer takes the win, but fourth is good enough to get the straight transfer all the way down to Michael Willard in ninth. Bradley Graham will lead the pack out of heat number 2 to the last chance qualifier. Well, Jake Weimer's a winner again, Aaron.
Definitely is. Jake Weimer basically going from his deathbed up to the podium tonight. Jake, you got to be surprised that you were able to pull that off tonight.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I just got a good start and just, you know, rode smart. I didn't fall down. I wasn't fast. I just got a good start and just made sure I didn't go down, and that was enough to win, so I'm happy.
Just goes to show you how tough these guys are when the time comes.
Jake Weimer is going to go back to the motor coach, to the transporter, and relax. Try to rest up and get ready for the main yet to come here on Speed. AT&T Park, San Francisco, California. The Monster Energy Supercross Lights West Coast region getting set to get underway with their last chance qualifier. Let's show you our Toyota moving forward schedule of upcoming events. You'll see all the Supercross lights right here on Speed. We're going back to Anaheim, then further south to San Diego before we leave the West Coast and make our way to Houston and all the way out to the Georgia Dome. You'll see all the great Supercross lights racing right here on Speed. 32nd board is up, looking for 4 more riders for tonight's 22-rider main event. There goes the 32nd board, and our starting grid will scroll across the top of the screen as we're underway. Oh, big wrecks taking place. It's the number 60 of Broc Hepler.
That is devastating. Hepler, one of the favorites coming into this event, is now starting the last chance qualifier in last place. He's going to pick up 4 or 5 riders right here. He's got a long ways to go.
Let's see what happened to Hepler. He's on the inside there, Jeff.
Hepler's on the inside right here. He jumps off to the side of the track. Really aggressive move. Lands on a tough block. You see his bike almost inverted.
It's such a vicious hit, too. You can see his whole body just snap.
He has got a lot of riders to pass to get up into that 4th position or better to qualify.
First lap completed. Canary out front. Metzler and Gosler, who's had such a terrible season really today. Just not been a great year for Chris Gosler. Finds himself in 3rd, and that's a transfer spot. If he can hang on. Canary trying to battle his way through. He's got the lead right now. There's Hepler still deep in the field. Jeff, he's all the way back in 10th. He's going to have to get at least 6 more to get a transfer.
And another one of the quickest riders in the field, setting an 18th right now, is Billy Laninovich. He's actually won this race before a few years back, so definitely not starting out or finishing out this day here in San Fran like he'd like to, but look how difficult the track is.
Hepler trying to get these 2. He's going to pick up at least more. Looks like he's working Tyler Key from the 505. The green light gets him.
See where he is across the stripe. Hepler already up to 6th place. 2 laps to go halfway through.
He's got to get 2 more, Jeff.
And at one point, he was last place. He is absolutely flying.
And that should be 5th right there. If he can get around the 131, that's Ryan Beat.
You see him pull a tear off through the rhythm section. He senses the urgency. He knows he has to pass some more riders.
Next up is to 240 on Graham. And that's him right there. So guess what? He's got a transfer spot.
All the way from last place around the 1st turn.
Now he's battling for 3rd, and he just got Metzler. That puts him to 3rd. Now he's going after 2nd, which is Gosler right there in the red on the 102. What a ride. Incredible performance by Broc Hepler with 1 lap to go. Now the biggest thing, Jeff, is don't make a mistake.
Don't make a mistake, but he is flying right now. A 53.1 lap time. Our leader, Kinnear, is at 58, and Gosler was only at 57.
And he's going to get Gosler right here, inside of Chris Gosler. And that puts Hepler up to second.
I tell you, it's incredible how these riders like Broc Hepler will ride when the pressure is on. He could win this race. There's still a few turns left. He's been that fast.
And that's Canary right in front of him on the 45. Robert Canary out of New York on the Honda, trying to get the win here in the last chance qualifier. And Hepler trying to hold off Gosler and get himself a transfer. Checkered flag goes to Canary. And Hepler will get a transfer, as will Gosler and Metzler, to the main event. On February 18th, Premier Week begins, and Speed is bringing you all new shows. Supercars Exposed, Drag Race High, and Living the Low Life hit the prime time, delivering new heroes, new muscle, and new curves. The Speed Premier Week begins February 18th, only on Speed. Well, we have got our final 4 riders for the last chance qualifier, and one of them is Broc Hepler. Main event yet to come.
This Valentine.
A week ago in Anaheim, California. It was dry conditions and the racing was spectacular as Ryan Dungey took the win. Tonight, a much different story. A hardy crowd here in San Francisco has braved some tricky weather conditions as we get set for the main. Be there for DirecTV Speed Weeks as we launch Speed HD with 100 hours of coverage from Daytona. Speed is everywhere on and off the track as teams scramble to make the field for the Daytona 500. DirecTV Speed Weeks coverage begins Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there. Let's go down for a Progressive pre-race report to Aaron Bates.
If you recall what happened last weekend at Anaheim 2, the number 338 of Jason Lawrence was having some issues restarting his bike after stalling it only a couple of laps in. Well, the AMA disqualified him for receiving outside assistance. Even though he plans on coming into San Francisco with a vengeance this weekend, you need to remember he's already still on probation by the AMA from an altercation that took place between him and Ryan Villopoto this summer. He wants to do well, but he said he's going to keep it on 2 wheels and not be overly aggressive.
It was a really rough weekend for Jason Lawrence last week in Anaheim as the main event gets set to go. You can see the rain is falling.
And look at the quagmire that the starting line is. That is just unbelievable how wet it is.
Here's our Supercross Lights main event up close. 22 riders, 10 laps, normally 15. Due to the conditions, they've shortened it 5 laps. Brett Metcalfe and Jake Weimer, the winners of the heat races.
And all night long, the whole shot has been coming from the right side, which is the outside of the gate. Very uncharacteristic.
Our Progressive starting lineup scrolling across the screen. Ryan Dungey told us earlier today, Jeff, that in conditions like this with the points lead, the last thing he wants to do is make a mistake and not score any points.
Yeah, as the points leader, he wants to have a good, solid ride, keep it on 2 wheels.
There's Hepler.
Broc Hepler is down once again. That's the blue bike here. That's Broc Hepler, Jake Weimer, number 30 on the red bike, our winner from Phoenix. 2 of the heavy favorites here tonight down.
And Jason Lawrence jumps into the lead. Lawrence on the 338 takes the lead. It was Tommy Hahn that had the whole shot, and I believe Austin Stroupe, who was in second, just went off course. It is Stroupe.
Stroupe has had such a tough time. Oh, did you see the water?
Oh my gosh, unbelievable.
You have to be careful on these bikes with the water like that. You get water sucked into the airbox area, in through the air filter, into the engine. It does not like that.
You saw Dungey just sneaking inside his Stroupe. There's Lawrence. And Lawrence has not won a main event yet, Jeff. He got close a couple of times this year, He's won a heat race, but he has not won a main, and this could be the night.
And he has been so close, always shown a lot of speed.
Let's go back and see what happened to Austin Stroupe. Watch him on the green bike.
Stroupe's on the green bike. You see him. He heads off the track and around the berm, and he gets on that slippery plastic. Great job of saving it. Now watch when he takes a look and says, okay, I'm just going to have to blast my bike down through this water and get back on the track. He lost quite a bit of decisions, but he did not fall down.
Meanwhile, Lawrence out front.
Looking very smooth.
Metcalfe, Hahn, Gracyk having a good run.
This may be just what Jason Lawrence has needed to get over that hurdle and to win that first race. Brett Metcalfe, who's been really on fire tonight, he's in second. He was strong.
That's Metcalfe on the green 123, the Kawasaki rider. Battle for... Oh, look at Lawrence! He loops out! Green gains it, but he's gonna maybe lose... Oh! Contact with Metcalfe! Just when I thought he was gonna lose the lead!
Unbelievable move. Tonight in this lights event, already we've seen so many mistakes. Younger riders like this, they don't have quite the experience in this type of situation with this huge crowd cheering them on. Sometimes the nerves gets the best of them, but it always makes for an exciting race.
The 32 of Tommy Hahn sits in second. There he is, green bike, red riding gear. And he's closing in on Lawrence quickly. Hahn really skying over these jumps and making up a lot of time in the air.
Hahn goes to the left. See if he can get a drive through the whoops.
Well, he didn't get through the whoops as good as Lawrence did, but over these bigger obstacles, he's doing a much better job. And watch what happened to Lawrence.
Watch here, he just gets the bike on the rear wheel, makes a left turn and keeps it going. And Metcalfe on the green Kawasaki goes down. He needed to hesitate just a split second to let Lawrence clear the berm before he cut down. Just a little over anxious on Metcalfe's part to want to make that pass, to dive back down to the inside, exiting that turn.
Boy, he saw the door open and it just closed on him. Oh, so close. Battle for second. That's Austin Stroupe in third, trying to catch Hahn, and Metcalfe is behind him.
And Metcalfe is not out of this yet. He's right on his teammate, Austin Stroupe. He's going to have to get out of that line.
Of course, there are two Hahn brothers. This is Tommy Wills back at 9th.
Nice pass. Brett Metcalfe just railed the inside turn.
That'll put him up right into fourth. Here comes another pass. Inside he goes. That'll take second over to Metcalfe. As we're halfway through this main event, it's been shortened 5 laps. AT&T Park in San Francisco, the main event for Supercross Lights West Coast action, round number 4. Jason Lawrence out front. Metcalfe running up in second, Hahn back to third, and Stroupe running in fourth.
Don't you get the feeling that Metcalfe is totally on a mission at this point? He's closing up on our leader, Jason Lawrence. In just a couple laps after that fall, that means he is on the gas. On the last lap, Metcalfe was 2 seconds faster than Lawrence. 2 seconds in one lap. That's a button.
Well, Lawrence has been very lucky, though. There you see Lawrence going over the finish line jump. Oh, and that was a bit of an awkward landing for Metcalfe. Here's Lawrence on the Yamaha in blue with the blue-white riding gear.
And you see Metcalfe just standing on the pegs, and the bike is just going out from under him, to the left, to the right. He is just not letting off the throttle. He's just giving it 100% effort. He knows that the leader, Jason Lawrence, is there and that he's faster.
Now, Dungey, of course, the points leader. He could really struggle in the points here tonight, Jeff. He's in 6th with 4 laps to go, and we saw how tight things were coming into this race. He said, of course, to us, the one thing he didn't want to do is make a big mistake and lose a lot of points, which is what happened to Lawrence last week in Anaheim.
Exactly. He's riding a fairly smart race. I don't know why he's this far back, but he's still racing forward. Up into 6th place.
How much is this the maturing of Ryan Dungey? Because last year when he would make a mistake, it would cost him dramatically.
Well, just experience of knowing how to handle this and having the right people around him to help guide him, to help give him advice to how to navigate this. But Ryan Dungey, as you see, the rain is just really starting to come down.
And a big part of that, Johnny O'Mara, there's a mistake, a huge one. Just what we were saying. Dungey, the yellow flags were out, and instead of avoiding the incident, he runs right into the bike of the fallen rider, and this could cost him dearly. And if Lawrence can hold on and win this thing tonight, the rider who scored no points last week could find himself right back in it.
Take a look at this replay. Dungey comes around the outside. He's already locked into the rut. And the yellow flags are out, but he just didn't catch it in time. It just did not register with him. You see him banging on the clutch lever on the left side of the bar, knocking it back up into position. And this rider is still down.
And Lawrence comes through the same area, picks his way through with 2 laps to go. Lawrence on his way to what could be his first career main event win in the Supercross lights class.
The track is so difficult right now. You see as Lawrence and the rest of the riders navigate their way through.
This looks like the fight for 4th. Reardon, Stroupe, Gracyk, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
That's Reardon in 4th. This is Stroupe over here on the Kawasaki. Got a full straightaway.
Final lap. White flag is out for Jason Lawrence.
And boy, has this been a long time coming. This rider, Jason Lawrence, has had some really great races, shown a lot of speed. But tonight, he's taking advantage of this muddy situation.
Jason Lawrence thought maybe the championship was done for him earlier today, but Jeff, with a tough night for Dungey and a win brewing here for Lawrence as the rain pours down here in San Francisco, this championship far from over.
More so than the points, it's getting that first win. Then you have the confidence that I've been there before. I know I can do this. This is going to change the face of the championship completely.
Checkered flag falls, and Jason Lawrence is going to win his first main event in the West Coast Supercross lights class. Here's Ryan Dungey. How much will Dungey see the point slip away from his grasp at the end of the night here? Where will he finish? Stroupe is across in 5th, and Dungey still picking his way to the line. Here he comes. Checkered flag, and Dungey, the points leader, is in 7th. And Jason Lawrence is going to the top step of the podium. Congratulations, Jason. We'll talk to him when we come back.
And the results are in.
She didn't vote him. The field here at AT&T Park, home of Major League Baseball's San Francisco Giants. They wouldn't have played today, but the Supercross lights class certainly did, and Jason Lawrence comes up big, winning his first West Coast region Supercross lights main event. Tommy Hahn with a nice ride to 2nd. Metcalfe, Reardon, and Austin Stroupe grabbing the top 5.
Yeah, and Broc Hepler, one of our favorites for today, was back in 12th after being on the ground a couple times.
Well, I'm sure Jason Lawrence is ready to celebrate this one, Aaron.
I can guarantee you Jason Lawrence is definitely ready to celebrate after a ride like that. Jason, you yourself said that the only way that you were going to be able to stay out of trouble tonight is if you got out front, and you did exactly just that.
Yeah, that's what I did. I got a great start, which, I owe that to my team, Boost Mobile, Yamaha, Troy. They give me the best equipment, and I'm happy I can finally be out there, to win that. This is the first time that I've ever worn this chain. This is in memory of my buddy, Brett Klein, and I think he just gave me a little something extra special right there, so I'm really happy about that.
What does it mean to you to win your very first race?
Well, it's huge. It's a big weight off my shoulders. Finally getting it out of the way. Everyone says that's the hardest one. Everyone that's helped me, my team manager, Dang, my mechanic, Corey, my trainer Rhino, my truck driver Eddie, my agent Scott Sipkovic. He's not here. That's a shame. Say hi to him.
Congratulations on a sweet success.
Thank you.
Well, everybody has said he's got lots of speed, and now he's a big winner too, and he's going to hope to see what he can do when he gets to Las Vegas, because the championship chase is all about the road to Vegas, Sandboy Stadium, first weekend in May. You'll see it on speed, and Ryan Dungey will hope that he will still be the points leader when he gets there. But look at what Jason Lawrence did tonight, closing up in the points after scoring nothing last week.
Yeah, Lawrence picked up a lot of points, and Dan Reardon has been steady. He's been right there inside of the top 5 every race.
So a bit of a bobble tonight by Dungey cost him quite a bit, Aaron.
It did, but this is not the first time that we've seen Tommy Hahn on this podium. Tommy, what a ride it was for you tonight. Did you expect this coming into tonight's race?
Well, I expected it to be really wet, and I'm an all right mud rider, and I just wanted to go out and get a good start and see what I could do with it, and I did, and I'm super pumped for my team, Motorsport Extreme Kawasaki, and Moose, Smith, Maxima, Pro Circuit, Etnies, and Hurley. They're awesome.
All the rest of them, including helping you out, getting yourself up here on this podium. But Brett, you yourself, you were looking to take this win here this evening, obviously, especially by your heat race. What did it mean to you to be able to overcome the situation that was out there on the track?
It meant a lot. I was unfortunately a couple short, but it was a good race. I rode really well, and I fortunately went down early, which kind of cost me a little bit of a chance to win, but I rode good. I felt like I was really aggressive, and that's what I wanted to do tonight. So just like to thank the team, Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Thor, Pots Unlimited, Scott, Bridgestone, Alpine Stars, and everyone else. Thanks.
What is it that makes you such a great mud rider?
I don't know. I didn't grow up in Aussie riding this stuff. I love the sand, and this is a little bit similar to sand. You keep your momentum up, and I don't know. I just dig it.
The momentum is alive. We can expect to see more from Brett Metcalfe.
Now you can get the latest race results and news right on your phone with weekly green alerts from Speed. Text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Well, Jeff, Jason Lawrence finally has that first win. Take me back to your first victory. Was it easier to get victory number 2?
It definitely was. Builds that confidence. You know that you can do it.